The Patreon request this week, as requested by our lovely Patreon member Hunter, thank you for the request, was the 2011 film The Smurfs. And if you also want to get your movie requested and watched by us, go to guapish.com/Patreon and patreon.com/Guapish for $1 a month. Get your movie in the queue and we'll watch it at some point. Just like Hunter did this week. Nico, how about you give the plot synopsis of The Smurfs?
So Smurfs is a movie that features the Smurfs who are hunted down by Gargamel, and because of that they get transported to New York City, where Gargamel's trying to hunt them down. They encounter Neil Patrick Harris, who is a man you have to say his whole name. Like, he's one of those actors, you can't just, like, say a part of it. You gotta say the whole thing, otherwise no one knows who you're talking about. And he's, like, some big braining guy, and he, along with the Smurfs, learn how to love again.
Dude, I decided to double check. This movie did, in fact, come out 4 years after Enchanted.
That's fun.
Fun fact, Frank Welker, who is the voice of Papa Smurf, he's also the voice of the original Fred Jones from Where Are You, Scooby-Doo, as well as the voice of Shao Kahn.
That's fun.
In the Mortal Kombat. Wait, he's not Papa Smurf. He's the fucking cat.
I see. That's a better fun fact than I thought the one you were giving.
Damn. Yeah. I thought it was funny that they had to give a cat a voice actor and they couldn't just use average cat noises.
Funny! Dylan, what'd you rank this movie?
I was just gonna... He also has like 900 voice acting credits. He's fucking crazy.
Good lord. Yeah, I gave this movie a B-.
Dude, I'm sitting at a flat C.
I'll do you one better, Tanner. I'm going C-.
I'm also at C-.
Whoa. So, a lot of my rank is probably just because, like, I went in expecting it to be just complete shit. And I was like, I walked away going like, okay, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. It definitely feels like one of those, the most average movies that I've ever seen. Let's see, what do I have for positive and negatives here? Positive, I like the Smurfs. I think the Smurfs are a little funny. I like that they make me think of, like, they're kind of like good gremlins. Where, like, they're still causing chaos, but they're not doing it out of malice. They're just kind of retarded, you know?
Personally, I'm of the mindset that they should have killed Clumsy. I don't know why they keep him around. They should murder him. He does nothing but cause trouble for them.
I'm sure there's another one that causes trouble, dude. Don't even worry about it.
Kill him too,
True.
Then.
There's Trouble Smurf.
Yeah.
He makes trouble.
This is Criminal Smurf. He robs us.
My biggest negative is the frequent cringe humor.
Yeah.
There's a
that
good
Rock
deal.
Band sequence is the worst thing I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Dude, you didn't like when they busted it down when they were singing their song, but now to fucking Guitar Hero?
It was so concerning because it was like the weirdest morph of Guitar Hero and Rock Band, and I don't know why I'm nitpicking that, but also just nothing in that scene made sense at all.
Did you guys like how fuckable they made Smurfette? They really wanted you to be lustful for her in this film.
To be quite honest, I had no physical attraction to that character.
What's fucked up to me is, like, in the beginning of the movie, they mention that they're 3 apples high, and, I mean, I guess they could be using incredibly small apples, but these guys are not 3 apples high.
No, very much not the case.
They're like 1 apple high.
Exactly, yeah.
I thought a cute little fun fact in the movie was like, oh, there's an author of this book that writes about the Smurfs, and they're called whatever the fuck their actual mythological name is, and
yeah,
I
the
think...
Smurfenfuggins.
Yeah. I was watching this movie with Jackson, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if that name is actually the name of the guy who had originally wrote the Smurfs, like, I don't know if it's comic or whatever. So I looked it up, and it in fact was the guy who made the Smurfs.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I thought it'd
Why
be
would
a
they
cool
just
little...
choose? Why would they choose a random name of some
Listen,
guy?
dude, I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to like see that. I don't give me some credence.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool that they reference their their comic strip origins.
Or yeah, I guess. I'd do
However,
that.
that's fucking stupid because then it shows you throughout that whole sequence, like, oh yeah, Smurfs are also still like a property here in the real world that people know about, but for whatever reason in their travels, nobody knows who the fuck these things are.
Yeah.
As a positive, though, I've been railing against this movie a lot. Yeah, I didn't think it was dog shit. It didn't end up in the D tier. I liked Gargamel's performance. Hank Azaria, he did a good job. Hank Azaria, you guys may be familiar with. Apu fame. He's Apu in The Simpsons, as well as many other secondary characters. Chief Wiggum and the like. Comic book guy. Unfortunately, not Apu anymore, though. The problem with Apu happened, and...
Damn.
We've talked about that enough on this channel, though, so we're not going to go into it for like a fourth time.
I don't know that we... Have we talked about that before?
We have,
bit.
yeah.
Okay.
On multiple occasions.
I do think it's funny that in these below-average movies, the performance put on by the villain or the antagonist is always so much higher and so good compared to everything else in the movie. I like how that's just a common trend.
He was really hamming it up. I was a big fan.
Yeah. It really just says something about, the duality of man, where being evil is so easy.
I'm so sure.
Adjacent to Gargamel, though, the cat looked terrible.
Oh, 100%. This cat was CGI 80% of the movie. Jackson,
what did you think of this one?
Just fucking boring. I don't know. I've got very little to say about it. It's like the most generic movie of all time. It's really fucking cringy. Like, if I was a child, I'd probably enjoy this more, but the humor is not for me. I don't think the Smurfs look bad, I guess, but a lot of the interpolation they do with green screens of real people in the 3D environments looks fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I think the main villain does a good job, I guess. The cat looks fucking awful. I have very little to say. Very bare bones movie.
Yeah, I agree. And in addition to like the whole humans in the 3D backgrounds, whenever the Smurfs are like interacting with the real world or even with other humans, it's very disjointed looking. Which, I guess valid when you're trying to CGI small creatures attacking or otherwise humans, but like also it just looks bad. They couldn't have cleaned it up at all. Like I don't know.
I thought the final battle where they sing their little song but in like a menacing tone was kind of cool.
You guys think if you're wandering through a forest and you suddenly hear that shit, you think you're fucked, or like what's going through your head at that moment?
I'd be terrified.
I would be too, quite frankly.
Dude, I would be like, their essence! I need their essence!
I'd assume it's like a Will-o'-the-Wisp situation or something, like they're coming to take my soul.
Dude, they could be, though. They have the magic. Well,
overall, though, as Jackson was telling me previously, rather saccharine ending, just so sugary and sweet, simply terrible. Do you guys think that saccharine is just like the snooty reviewer way of saying schmaltzy?
Yeah.
If I knew what that meant, I'd agree.
And schmaltzy is the kind of snooty way of saying campy.
Yeah. I like schmaltzy a lot more, though. Schmaltzy is one of those words where you hear it and you just immediately know what it means.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, are we keeping our ranks where they're at?
Yeah, I don't think we've given any reason to change our ranks.
I very much did a last minute. I kept forgetting to rate this movie. I kept reminding myself throughout the week, so I definitely just did a last minute rating. Now, I'm not going to change it a crazy amount. I'm going to put mine in C+ instead of B-, though.
Okay.
Whoa.
And it lands at a C.
Crazy.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.